almost there. We're almost there.
We record the first 5 minutes of our lips just smacking this.
Hmm. Pretty sure it's live now.
Okay.
Hold on.
Good.
Give me a second.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna.
Do you see it? Okay, wait, hold on. You let me advertise first. Let me advertise. The stream.
I'll do it too, I guess.
So now we are happily live right now and ready to share our creations and our problems and pain with you all.
Just we're rambling.
Our pain. Only our pain and our rage. Only our rage. We're just gonna talk about random things tonight.
Comics. Indie comics.
Indie.
Hashtag indie comics. Would it be figuring I or figuring me? Oh, figuring me.
However you want to do.
Figuring me as ramble about stuff while we make a comic. Oh man, this is my first tweet in the new since the last decade.
Oh,
Dead
isn't that
jokes.
glorious?
Dead jokes.
Isn't that awesome? That we're falling behind our social media? Absolutely incredible. The type of work we do here at the Fighting Fiction headquarters. Scarlalita.
Okay, three. You start recording. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. The intro. Go.
Welcome to number 4 of the E&F Fighting Fiction Rage Hour of the night. I have been up for 23 hours, and he's asking me to host right now, and I'm here today with Mr. E, the Big E, Eric Mogel. You know him from the Fighting Fiction podcast as Eric Mogel as well. Nothing new, nothing changes in our time and space. We're all dying. How are you doing tonight, Mr. E?
I'm actually in the works of changing my name to OJ Simpson.
Okay, we have tonight's actually OJ Simpson in the flesh right now. We are actually here in the audience. We like to ask you, OJ, did you really do it?
No, that's my brother.
Oh, see, and we solved the case right there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, OJ. We really needed that right now. But going on with that, this is our co-host from tonight. That is our co-host tonight. I am your host, Figure, the audacious Figure, as you all know, the deepest of the depressed ones, the fool of the show. That is me, Figure. Okay.
Well, I can see that you're working on your tapas.
I am working on just a webtoon that I just randomly do every now and then now. It's about race.
Oh.
Frankly it is kind of about a little bit about race. It's more about holding grudges against individuals and learning to forgive individuals, and seeing that if you hold grudges against certain individuals, like going after revenge, you find that you might be able to fulfill that revenge. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but in the end, do you feel satisfied in the end? And it's really easy to hate somebody, but it's much harder to forgive another person. So
You know the funniest thing, right?
yeah.
A big name comic book creator made something just like that last year.
What
Last decade.
what was the setting, and what was the what
It
was it about?
a Batman comic.
Okay, well this is not a Batman comic. This is kind of more of a
Yeah.
medieval
It was a Batman
times.
It was Frank Miller, right? Crazy man. He made that, and it was basically okay. So he used Donald Trump, and he's running for governor of wherever Gotham takes place. And the thing is, it's a commentary on today's culture, and whether like, you know, how like you can get upset and like go on Twitter and be angry all the time, or you could try to take the peaceful route and try to understand both sides of the conversation. But ultimately, it's like more hatred creates more hatred, right? And like rather than it's like that, and it's like
Well,
it's very
I'm gonna end this story on with our main character just moving on from the hate that he held on to for so many years for the death of
okay.
his mother. So he's just
Nice.
gonna be like, I accept that you did this thing. If I kill you here right now, then I will just be continuing the cycle. And so
That's
I'm choosing to end the cycle and I'm moving on. That's the whole point. Is gonna be forgive and move on.
Berserk will never end that way.
Well, Berserk's never gonna end.
If it does and it ends that way, the fans are just gonna riot.
Why? Because if it ends in like a really happy and useful tone in terms of like understanding people, then it's like, yeah, I understand that.
No. It's like oh, we've been building up this fight for Griffith, and like Guts is like, I forgive you, and like he just walks away, and it's like, oh, we're just like, oh, it's like
You won't like it in the moment, but you'll appreciate it in the long run. When you show your kids Berserk, and you're like, yeah, I'm glad that he didn't go for revenge. I'm glad that he overcame his feelings and
his anger.
went down a better route in life. You know,
Yep. Um. Okay. So you named this project yet? No.
this project's working name is called To Stay With You,
Okay.
but that's probably not gonna be the final name because I'm just too lazy to think of. See, it's named To Stay With You because it was the name of a song I was listening to. I was just formulating it.
Oh,
So
you JoJo fan.
yeah, I'm doing that. And it's like I
Sorry.
said, it's like I don't. That's not the title, but we're just gonna
Music
go with it.
reference. Music references everywhere.
This is a music reference. This whole thing's a music reference.
I
No, it's not.
drive your truck.
I drive your I can't sing that. That's copyright. They're gonna get us. They're gonna get us for copyright.
They don't pay attention to us until like you get like 100 subscribers, and they're
They're
like,
like, oh, you're making money. Time to take it.
yeah, we got some publishers. You know what? Okay, like, YouTube is a interesting place for comics now.
It always has been.
No, I think it's more interesting now.
Well,
Like,
unless you're
like,
talking
like,
about like,
okay, let's put it this way. Okay, so 2016, right, is so from 2010 or 2011 to 2016, right? Comics weren't a thing on like YouTube as
okay,
much.
yeah,
They're like you have like your comic historian and comics explain those things, but ultimately it wasn't like as it is now, where it's just like when 2016 hit, when DC Universe Rebirth hit, and then all new, all different Marvel hit, it just exploded, and then indie comics exploded with it for some reason.
it's because it's been the long-awaited time for indie, for a lot of people to start doing their own personal projects because people want to live the dream, as we do here at Fighting Fiction headquarters. We want to live the
Oh,
dream of creating content that you people here will love and enjoy, comic-based or manga-based or sequential art-based content. But we live actually in a time where we would suspect that that time is closing, right?
I think so. Oh, I'm curious.
That 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 because there was this blow up, like you're saying on YouTube specifically. There's a blow up of comic books and indie comics and the such. That time maybe is coming to a close. Maybe that we are reaching a point, and this is the apex. Maybe we already hit the apex of this crowdfunding and indie comic based work, and now
Well, okay.
we're like lone survivors or on a plane
Well,
crash.
I honestly think crowdfunding is the answer for indie comics. All right. We might want to do this with like indie comic creator, but we'll say like this for like a 5 minute top. I don't think it's like the answer for indie comics to go well, like Marvel and DC and stuff like that. That's on a personal basis not the answer because it's people like as much as like people have faith in others, right? And like when giving money, it's still the idea of like there's only so much like not getting a project or a project constantly being delayed to the point where it's like they just give up on it and they don't like care and eventually it's like there's gonna be a breaking point for like crowdfunding and it's gonna be like that like webtoons, right? No, not webtoons, but web comics in general, like how that exploded like in the 90s, like the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah,
When like yeah, that how that exploded and people like became basically made a living through like advertisement to like
Ye-
merchandising and then to like Patreon now.
And that's
So
kind of going. Oh, well, they already went away. The whole advertisement on your website, putting advertising on your website as means to make income has kind of just disappeared at this point. Like you can't really. That's not a profitable means. Like you can't just make a website, say, hey, we're gonna put ads on it, and expect to make a huge profit from it. Now it's like Patreon, like how you saying crowdfunding, but now we're saying crowdfunding is kind of going out the door. What is gonna be the next thing? Is it gonna be what we're seeing with webtoons? How we're seeing that we're congregating all the creators into a single space?
I don't think that's gonna work either. Like, okay, um, it's the idea. Like, okay, so webtoons, right, is the Steam problem in my opinion,
What?
because
Steam doesn't have
like
a problem. It's
Steam
going
has a
okay.
problem.
It's going okay.
Steam is ready to like implode on itself at
How?
any moment. Because like, what is it? All those shovelware on there that's being pumped out every day, and like every day, how many games are being like uploaded onto the Steam storefront, right?
About two.
And like it's more than two. You know as well as I do. It's like at least over like 1,000 games each day being uploaded onto the storefront, new indie games, right? And so it's like people like there's the genuine like there's always gonna be genuine guys like, oh, I made a game, I'll probably put it up here, versus I went to an asset store, just made a game, and like just had enough skill to make it look good, just to make the profit, and then flip the assets again to keep doing this, and just they just that's flood Steam, and like I'm not saying Webtoon is like that yet, but it's like when you start funneling more people to Webtoon, it's gonna become that, and it's just gonna implode. I'm like, because and it like I mean, video games is an expensive like thing to make, but
Very.
yeah, comics are probably just as expensive, or if not as or like less, right? Because a video game you can make on your free time. Because like Owlboy was made. This guy took 15 years to make, but on his free time.
Mm-hmm.
So that he was able to make his money back, but like he did it himself. Versus a comic is like either the artist who's writing the story yourself, or is like a team doing it, and now you're like and you're required like you can make like the greatest story ever made. You can make like the next Berserk or Vagabond or Watchmen, right, on the webtoons. But if you're competing against like 5,000 other books like or webtoons that same day, what are the odds of you being seen? And it's like it's gonna like those things like the rapid uploads of like webtoons and the comics are is gonna cause it to implode on itself. I don't think that isn't the answer either.
So what is the answer?
I think that as much as like people would probably say, it's gonna have to be subscription models.
But that's imploding on itself right now.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's play this right. We have it's either gonna be like it's still gonna have to be like comics, indie comics are gonna have to hit the storefront like the mom and pop shops, right? And also be digital storefronts, right? Just tackle the two fronts, or be subscription in general, because you can't compete with piracy, and that's a fact. No comic, indie comic or anything, otherwise cannot compete with piracy because it's a free service, and there is all of it. So the next best thing would probably be it's going to have to be subscription, right? Just either Amazon like or DC or Marvel, right? Will probably do. This is a DC subscription. You have your free version, but you get ads on it, or you pay like $1 or like $5 a year, and you get ad free all our entire like library of DC comics ever made here for you to read, and like that's gonna be the future. And Image and stuff like that's gonna have to do it too, but like that's just like the big publishers, the small like the crowdfunding guys. They're either gonna have to like find a way. Like there's gonna either be a site that says, hey, upload your stuff to our be the next Spotify for comics or something like that, right? Where everybody's there instead of just like Marvel DC separate each other. It's gonna be like Spotify for everything, and that way everybody gets a kickback for reading it because there's advertisements playing and stuff like that, rather than just, hey, this is me.
Okay. I think
Let's do it.
we need to eliminate some folks.
Something.
I think a war would do very nicely in clearing the playing field for. I think if a lot of people get drafted, it would it's really messed up. It's really messed up.
Propaganda time. Let's go.
No, I think the issue is oversaturation in general because we see the same thing now with subscription. We're talking about if we want to talk about Netflix or Amazon Prime or HBO Go or Disney Plus or do you see what I mean?
yeah,
Like we have an oversaturation of content that you need subscriptions to. It's not all collected to one area like how it was kind of before with Netflix and
yeah,
kind of Hulu.
yeah,
Now it's like spreading out all over the board, and now you have to start dividing up your money. This means less money that's gonna have to people are gonna have available. No, this means people have to spend their money more wisely. This means more competition within the industry. That means less people getting their content paid for. Now it's
but
all being.
but in reality, like okay, like competition is necessarily good though. It's inherently good.
I never said I wasn't saying that was good.
Well, no, I'm just saying like it's just inherently good. So like it means like the consumers get better products, but not everybody's getting paid for the better products. Like I would say Netflix is probably the worst one with like the quality.
I mean, because they just put money only in producing their
They
own
put
special movies and that's it.
yeah, and like have you seen like half the stuff they put like they have like Netflix originals are like aren't good. Like majority of them aren't good. Just like all just like all kind of
I don't.
meh.
I don't. I
No,
don't. I don't give. I don't give. I don't give it time of day.
oh okay. Well, they released a movie called Tall Girl.
Was she tall?
Yeah, she's like five. She's like 5'6".
That's pretty
And
tall.
people are like, oh, hey, she's a junior, like 5'6", and she's like, hey, and people are like, hey tall, hey giant, beanstalk.
She's pretty.
So fuck.
That's pretty tall, dude.
I'm
That's
like
pretty
6'2".
tall, dude.
I'm 6'2".
That's massive.
Oh, okay, giant.
Absolutely massive.
There's also the kissing booth.
That sounds really dumb.
Yeah, and there was another one where this guy's like, rent a boyfriend.
That sounds also really dumb.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. Netflix is just throwing money at anything, to hope it sticks.
Isn't that what comic books are now? Technically nowadays, more or less. Just put.
Any comic.
Just start making content and then just see if it sticks.
I think that's. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, yes and no. It depends where you look, right? Because, uh, you want to talk about like diversity for a second, or no?
Sure. I mean, this
Okay.
is a. There's no.
Well, okay. So Marvel, well, DC announced that they're going to be doing in like next year or the year after next, in 2022. They'll be doing like this initiative called 5G, Generation 5 DC Comics, where everything is in the future, and like the fifth generation. So it's no longer Bruce Wayne. It's gonna be like a black Batman,
Okay.
a homosexual, gay Wonder Woman, lesbian Wonder Woman, and like Superman,
Okay.
right? And like yeah, this is the future of DC Comics, right? There's some concerns about it, right? Because they're like that's not what DC fans want. And versus like Marvel did the exact same thing, because that's why I brought up like 2016. It's like they did in 2016 they did that exact same thing with like Black Captain America, female what else? Female Thor, and black female Iron Man. Who like she's Ironheart, right? Different character, but like she was the Iron Man book, right? And the thing was like fans weren't happy about that
And why is that?
because it's like how do I put this, right? There's a difference between saying I want, okay, let's put this right. I like Berserk, right? You like Berserk. It's a gut story, right? Now let's say we change. Actually, that's a bit. Can't use mangas now. Let's see. Here's like this.
Everyone likes pizza, but no
Like
one
pizza,
likes
pineapple pizza,
pineapple pizza.
right? Now, so you have your favorite pizza place, right? And next thing you know, say you go to order your meat lovers, and he gives you vegan lovers, right?
And that
Which is
still tastes pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
like it may taste pretty good, but it's not what I wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like it said yeah, like I'm paying money, I'm giving you my money for meat lovers, but you're giving me vegan lovers, or I wanted a bacon ranch pizza, and instead you gave me pineapple pizza. right?
Yeah.
It's the idea of like you're not giving us what we want, rather you're forcing you're taking my money and you're giving me something else. And I saw this like I was listening to a podcast, the Elseworld Exchange, and they're talking about this and how it was like DC fans are like slightly different from Marvel fans because they really don't they'll take change as long as it's gradual, right? But the moment is like snap your like Thanos snap, you like change, then boom, like they don't like it, right? Because it's like, oh, this wasn't gradual. This just happened, and like now you're telling me to just enjoy it, and we just like we like to stick to our meat and potatoes
Mm-hmm.
of meat potato comic books, and like
Yeah.
now you're giving us healthy food comics, right? And it's like that's the idea. It's like does that like what do you think about that?
I think that we should all produce content that we want to produce. How's that sound?
Yeah,
How's that sound? I feel like people like to pander to audiences across the board. Primarily, businesses will want to pander to a certain audience that they see the money come from. Okay, so I suggest that people should just, if they have a story they want to tell, take in criticism or take in your demographic or whatever, the feedback you get with like a grain of salt. I think it's important that if you're making a story, you say what you need to say and not let it be compromised because you just want like an extra like $20 or something at the end of the day. It's like, and you also want to realize that you can't appease everyone. So you might as well just appease the majority who actually like your content, or just appease yourself, honestly, because people will come and go in terms of just different
like
stories.
just media in general.
Yeah, people come and go constantly. You lose 50% and then you gain 50% probably within the same day of readers.
That's actually an interesting like a segue there. You talked about like losing. Is the okay? So like as you said, like in 2016, comics exploded. Like the indie comic scene exploded because Marvel was the leading cause of it, right? Because of like the people were like, you're not making what we want, so we'll make it ourselves, and they did, right? But the problem is that there's no new readers in a sense, right?
You mean within the comic space in general? You talking about,
Yeah,
or
there's
okay?
not. Yeah, there's not no new readers in the comic space.
And why
Okay,
are no new readers coming to the comic space?
okay. Let me ask you this: why? What took you so long to read a comic book?
Because I like manga.
Okay, besides that, like, let's assume you never read a manga, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay,
It's really hard to get because you have a wall of content you have to plow through.
yeah, okay, but let me ask you this: when you read Tom King's Batman, did you need context?
Yes.
Fake.
I I did.
I had no context reading into that Batman. I just read it.
Well,
You,
I had
you
context because I get what I watched beforehand.
what?
Batman movies and Batman TV shows.
Yeah, it's just you just have Batman.
I had context. That gave me context to those comic books specifically. But here's the thing. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard for me to jump into, like, I don't know, a Green Lantern comic book. I haven't seen enough Green Lantern content to be like, hey, let's just read this comic book of Green Lantern. Where do I start with Green Lantern? You tell me. See what I mean?
I have no idea.
Let me
Like,
tell you. Okay,
I don't like Green Lantern. I
okay,
don't even.
okay. So here's the comic book. Let me tell you. Manga. Hey, where do I start with Naruto? Number one. Where do I start One Piece? Number one. Where do I start with Tokyo? Number one. Okay.
Okay. Let me ask you this, right? Like, it's easier for me to say. Okay, so it's like easier for me to say read a Batman or a Superman book for you, or even Wonder Woman. It's easier for me to say that than say, One Piece or Naruto, because I can say, like, if you ask me you want to read a Batman book, I'll say, hey, go read Dark Prince Charming or Long Halloween or even Killing Joke. Maybe Batman Year One, or those. I can tell you to read that, or like Superman. I'm like, okay, if you want to read Superman, you can read like Up and Away, or Superman Secret Origins, or Superman for All Seasons. Right? I can just
Mhm.
like tell you those are like self-contained titles that you can read, and like it gives you all the context of what this character should be, right? Versus, like it's just that, right? Like in that case, is you have that right. You said you start number one for like Naruto, but I was wondering like if does that mean like manga's like eating indie comics then? Because like you can go to YouTube and say top 10 comics I should read, and most of them are gonna be like
Watchmen.
yeah like Watchmen like stuff
Hmm.
like that like just self-contained stories versus you hardly will ever see in like indie comics because an indie comic may be good but they still have they're like they're just a manga but Western. You know what I mean?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I kinda
So
get you.
yeah.
I
It's like
I'm feeling it. Yeah.
okay, so like the thing is, right? Here's the question: is like, so how would you like? Okay, so the big problem, like I wanted to say, is like, how do you get new readers in a comic book?
I don't
Saying
know.
like,
I don't know. You
like
pay them.
it's really hard to, because it's like, okay, so manga, right? It's like manga is a source that is openly pirated, and Japan doesn't even care.
Cause they're more concerned about producing a good piece of literature
I wouldn't say that,
and
because
and and selling them figurines. You know what I'm saying?
it's like other than this is that manga can be pirated but they'll make the money back anyway, regardless of it. It's like
Cause people like the manga so much, they start spending money on the crap.
like on everything about it, right? While comics has a problem with piracy, they're like, don't pirate my stuff.
Cause comics are not good pieces of storytelling.
I wouldn't say that. It's more or less like this idea of that it's okay. So Japan regularly they're getting paid regardless in Japan, like for the manga. An
Hmm.
indie comic creator isn't getting paid regardless. Well,
They're
maybe the
getting
artist.
they're getting paid with my time and energy to read your book.
It's like that, right? It's like
Yeah.
so it's like the artist is more likely the one getting paid, while the writer's like, ah, I paid $5 grand for this guy to draw my comic book.
Maybe we're just lazy as Americans and we need to really double down on producing really good stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we're just looking for excuses. So because maybe we ourselves have to grow our community. Maybe we can't just continue to like say it's someone else's fault. It's like manga industry. Maybe we have to take the step in order to garner audiences. Maybe we have to do what the Japanese do. Maybe we just have to like work 24 hours a day and produce insane stories and then hope they stick and stop worrying about like I don't know money.
yeah. Okay, let me ask you this, right? The Takehiko Inoue, right, the author of Vagabond, was able to close down a museum of his own artwork for the art of Vagabond,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so Miura could probably do the same if he wanted to, and probably also probably Yoshikazu. Yoshi,
The texture
yeah,
based artist,
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Mobile Suit Gundam
Oh,
artist, right?
never mind.
The manga guy, right? He could probably close it out how way his illustrations are. Probably open out museum, and they'll probably
Mm-hmm.
let him, right? But like in America, like yeah, like just say the Western world, because Europe too, because they have comics. Well, they probably won't allow. They probably won't do that for like, oh, you're a comic book artist, and like just laugh. You think it's like cultural conceit between like art between like West and East, like Japan and America?
I guess so. I mean, I guess being considered comic book artist is not a very like a well liked thing. Not taken seriously.
Yeah,
I guess you can say
it's
that.
and like so like the thing is like so if like you think like public consciousness has changed first over like which will cause more readers to go into it, or just like oh never mind, just like because at the rate things are going right, because it's the like Marvel and DC has always been the ones trying to get new readers to get into comic books, but they still they get like the occasional new reader because like I'm a new reader, and like there's probably like maybe 100 new guys who like maybe see something that really resonates with them that makes them want to go read it like a Marvel or DC comic. Because for me it was Injustice 2 that made me want to go read Superhero, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And like yeah, I decided to go buy comic books that won't like that, right? Um, but it's very small. Like, well, manga, right? I have like it's possible I can get an anime, like, or what is it? My first manga was Ratman, even though like that I actually really liked, but I saw One Piece and like actually I started reading Fairy Tail after I saw like the anime trailers like in my rental shop, like rented anime. I was like, I'll read Fairy Tail. I read Fairy Tail and started reading Batman, right? And it just opened up the world for more manga versus like what comics can do. Right? They can't open it up, so they don't have like that accessibility, and it's like it's kind of like a little frowned upon.
It's because we need to pirate more comics. We need to pirate more comics. That's the answer. If you want more accessibility, pirate more comics.
It's like pirate till it changes, and till they find a solution that works. And it's like
So we're not gonna pay money till you make something we want to pay money.
or we'll just pirate it until you give us a way to read it. Like that's not illegal, like make it worth our time. Because what is it? There's a saying like people pirated music until iTunes came along because iTunes made it easy to just download music versus like it's legal and it's easy versus like people are willing to pay for something as long as it's easy to use versus versus okay, it's still free, so I'll use the free version. Like more people use Spotify probably than like they download music legally now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more easier to work with, and
Yeah, if comics really cared about piracy as much as they creators complain about it, they would just make a way to fix the bug. Just make a thing that's better than piracy. This means just make a legal site that's just go back to the subscription model or streaming model for everything. Like you give it a free option and a pay option for the two people.
maybe we should create a streaming platform for comics.
Oh sure, it's like being part of DC.
Introducing the Fighting Fiction Library, where you can upload your indie comics into our website, and we make all the money.
We pay the creators based off ad revenue. You guys get.
There is no ad revenue.
Oh, not yet, anyway.
There is no ad revenue. My goodness. Okay.
So let's talk about Ezio Ken.
Who?
Keep your hands off Ezio.
Hey, the anime of the year. Anime of the year, people. Okay, so this piece of work is like, it's so like magical. When the animation turned to like more of the storyboard based watercolory type work, it was like, okay, they're having fun here. Like I immediately saw how much fun they were having.
You know the thing about Masaki Yuasa is that the fact that he's a wrestler. But like he got the reason why he didn't. This is like his first anime, like television anime in like 5 years or 10 years, was because like every time he directed a TV anime episode or anything, it was too expensive because he likes to do it in like ones and twos a lot of the time.
It's
And
just like
he opened up a studio and now he's like did movies. And, like I gotta do TV anime now because that's where the money is.
it's like
It's so good.
it's so good. His work is like amazing though. Like seriously. I mean like, what was my favorite? It's like it's really imaginative. Dude, and like the world setting, like the environment is so like, I don't know. It's believable, but it's so dense. I love the little crap like they had to go under the AC unit to walk into like the room or the building. Just little stuff like that made it feel so much real. It's like I don't understand why I like that kind of stuff, but it's like it's such a believable world, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. That
It is.
it's like insane.
How you a Hayao Miyazaki fan? Are you a Hayao Miyazaki fan?
Who?
A Miyazaki fan?
Miyawaka?
Oh, Mataki.
Klondike bars? I know who you're talking about. I know it's come on, man.
Miyazaki.
It's Miyazaki.
Yeah, Miyazaki. Hayao.
We know who this man is.
Okay, so I was listening to another podcast because I like to do that, like just drown out the world, just listen to people talking. Like, no, what was it? They were talking. This guy was talking about how he's like he doesn't like anime other than like Hayao Miyazaki films because he's like the creators or like even manga I guess included don't know how to tell the stories that they want to tell because they're too complex for the creators. Do you think so?
Uh, no.
Okay.
I think. What do you mean? Too complex for the creators?
Like okay, so this guy really loves Miyazaki, right? I think he shits on Ava a lot. He's like Ava doesn't like this guy just talks out his ass for Ava and stuff.
Okay.
Among other things. So it's like that. But now but he always says he doesn't like anime because anime doesn't know how to tell the stories that it's trying to tell. Because he's like he doesn't really just that. He's like anime is like oh they try to tell this deep complex story between narratives and stuff and but they can't do it because they don't know the experience of like what they're trying to say. Like Miyazaki is like does. And I'm like I could sort of see that in a sense. Like it's some stuff I've read, some manga I've read, where it's like
Like they try to relate. Okay, is it specific like an experience that they're saying that like a manga's trying to talk about something that obviously the creators never lived through?
yeah,
Okay. Well, that's just a matter of any storyteller should have a. It's like how an actor prepares for a role. A storyteller
yeah,
should prepare for the
what they're
themes and
trying
like
to say.
what they're trying to say. Okay, they might not have lived. Okay, think about it like this. Okay, Gundam's about war, right?
Yeah, war is
Do you
better.
think everybody who works in Gundam is like a veteran?
No,
Yeah, but they probably do their research and probably have a good understanding of like PTSD and the results of not just being in war, but the results of it and like the carnage and the hardships and the aftermath and all that mess. And they probably do their research on it, okay? And then they present their ideas based on that research. It's like I guess it's more important for any storyteller to do their research on the topic at hand that they want to say before even making any script or anything like that. That might be why he has an issue with some manga, but I don't know. I don't know. So he didn't like Ava.
yeah, he doesn't like Ava.
Not everyone's gonna like it. I understand why not everyone's gonna
But
like it.
he's like Ava just throws out a bunch of biblical references for no reason.
Yes, that's true,
He's just like talking out their ass a lot of the time.
but it's not necessary. That's not the point of the show. Not
Yeah,
those references aren't they mean absolutely nothing, because the theme of the show is your self image, like how you view yourself and how others view you, and being okay with it.
well, okay, well, we both had like consumers, right? Like kinds of things, like people who like all forms of media. So let me ask you this, right? Because Digibro did responded to an actual YouTube comment and did a video on it, like a 30-minute video on uh premise, and like because this guy said you're not understanding. Like he actually said like Digibro, you don't understand. Premise is really important because without a premise, like he's like I hate shogi. Well, I'm not interested in shogi by one bit, and it brings down Sangatsu no Lion a lot for me. Versus like Your Lie in April, which is like the premise is more interesting to me, which made me makes me go like watch it. Like, do you think premise is important to people? Like important to go into something.
Mm, you mean like, okay? I want to get an exact definition. What you mean by premise? Because I have
Okay.
ideas. But you said Your Lie in April. What's the premise of Your Lie in April?
I never watched. Oh, okay. Let's put this.
You know, okay.
Okay. I'll use Digiro's explanation. Prince of Tennis, right? It was people. He's like, they're like he's a couple like he had friends or something like they're like a couple, and they watch Prince of Tennis because they like tennis, right? But like well they like tennis. Then they love Prince of Tennis. Then it made them go play actual tennis, and then made them hate like they had an interest in tennis, and so that made them go toward Prince of Tennis. You know what I mean? When they watch it, but when they started playing actual tennis, they're like, "Oh, this is bullshit," and like enjoy baby steps more. But
What?
like, okay, here's an example.
What? tennis.
Okay,
I don't understand.
okay, here's the example. Here's the example. The premise is easy Gundam. Premise is robot, giant robots, and war.
Mhm.
Right, right. It's a really good story, but that's the premise: is war and giant robots. That's the thing. So, if I have no interest in giant robots or war, then I won't be like if I were to go into it and like it, I would have like or I won't be as interested in going to like say Gundam because it has giant robots in it. If I like war stories, then I wouldn't say Golden Kamui or you know Ronin Kenshin or something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Do you think that like premise is like a big effect in like selling something?
You have no control over who's gonna see your work.
No.
So show it. I mean, you do, but the only control you have over you who sees your work is whether you choose to show it or not show it. So you're not gonna be able to completely curate your show or your product to a group of people who will cling to the premise, right? That's what you're saying, right? Somebody who has interest in giant robots and war will cling to Gundam because of the premise of it. Okay, you don't get to choose who sees it, and the only choice you get to choose who sees it if you choose to show it or not show it. Let's go with the option that you say you choose to show your work to people and you publish it and produce it. You don't get to choose that. So premise is out of one's control. Yes, you can build a story where you're like, this is gonna be about butter, how we make butter. It's like you all like making butter, and it's like okay, we got the butter people. Okay, if it's something in terms of marketing, okay, let the butter people come. Okay, but if people like making cheese, then it's not gonna be for them. Okay, but you still showed it to them because you decided to market to as many people as possible. So I think what was it called? Presence, pretense, shonen,
Premise.
premise. I'm having a seizure. Premise,
Stroke. Yeah.
stroke. Well, really, I don't think it's really necessary to even consider the premise of a show. Maybe in terms of marketing, as like a quick like, hey, you like you like you like ice skating and gay men? Okay, Yuri on Ice. Girl, come on down. You know what I mean? That's the premise of Yuri on Ice.
It goes into Welcome to the Ballroom.
Okay, then there's that. Say, do you like kindly good animated show that's about ballroom dancing? It's like, yes, queen, and then you show them the anime, and then that's it.
Honestly, I don't even know why I went to Welcome to the Ballroom.
Because you're nice.
No, I didn't even watch Yuri on Ice. I remember
Nor
you
did I.
I remember you telling me about Welcome to the Ballroom and the Long Necks, and I was like, okay. And I saw it on Amazon Prime like shows. It's like, why not? And I started watching it.
It's so good, and
It
it's good.
became the shonen series that I really like. I need.
It's so
Shonen.
good.
Yeah, it's like what is it? I don't know. Like I think premise gets the initial like your whatever because no matter what story you make, there's going to be a basic premise of it. I think there's always going to be that idea. You won't like you said you won't have control on it, but your basic premise will get you the initial readers, and like if it's good, like if it's better than the premise itself, right? Then it will probably make more people like word of mouth is always like the strongest, strongest advertisement possible.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks to today's sponsor, Audible.
Audible. Thank you. That's Audible.
No,
Don't read. Listen.
yep,
Don't read. Listen.
like you're doing now. Like
One
you're
more
doing
time.
right
Don't read. Listen. Okay. Stop reading. Only listen. Okay. There's this one.
have you ever wanted to read a book and listen to it at the same time?
Have you ever wanted to stop reading? Start listening. Listen for free. 30-day free listening trial for free. Listen
Uh,
and be free. Listen for free. Listen.
promo code.
Promo code
Not
free.
that.
Promo code freedom. Promo code freedom from your pain. Promo code pain. Promo code I'm in deep pain. That's the promo code. No.
Okay, so when I was in high school, right, my senior year, I remember this one Chinese kid in my class, and we were talking about comics and manga together, and I told him that he was talking about like manga and how like he thinks they have better. Like, he said they have better stories than comic books, right? And I thought thought about it, and I was like, yeah, because I never read a comic back then. Like besides like the Watchmen, I was like, oh, there's only the Watchmen, right? Thinking back now, I say comics have stronger stories than like majority of manga. But it's kind of hard for me like to ask you because you haven't read that many.
I have not. I have read
Yeah,
some pretty strong manga stories.
yeah, but like,
Really, really strong. I've,
okay. Let me say this. Let me phrase this. Right, the strong manga stories for you are ones that are deeply personal.
I don't know.
Yes,
There's a bit of variety.
there's a bit of variety.
Legend Galactic
Right,
Heroes.
you watched the anime.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
like to most people that is an anime.
yes.
Right. Yeah, and that stops like over how many episodes? Like when is like the story actually end and like when it
One
just
at
keeps
110.
yeah, and then the story just keeps going.
No,
Yeah.
no. That actually ends. No. It's like around episode. No. You're not gonna do this. The show really ends on 110, and all the information is necessary.
After that, like you said,
Yes.
like I remember you telling me it was like it stops it stops feeling like it just keeps going up. Like was it like 200 episodes total?
No. No. There's extra content. There's like the Gaiden series where it's like prequel, where it's like they're in
No,
school.
no, because I remember you telling me like because I remember like it's like it's like stuff just like really like stops happening around like episode 80.
It's because someone dies, and it's like the whole reason behind the show is like uh political theory and a little bit
Yeah.
about nations, what type of nations are effective and doing what is necessary, and if how people nations need people, but people don't need nations or something like that. But once the individual who was the driving force of that perishes, the show kind of runs out of things to say, except for more of a bit of a character study after that. Honestly, now it's more, and then it just turns into a bit of a tragedy after that. So I guess that's what I was referring to. That's like it just slows down to like not what it was before, but it wasn't necessary because there was like nothing else to say. Now that I think about it, in terms of the political aspects, you got all the potential answers. There was like now it was like art. Now it was your choice. What do you choose? And it's like okay. So yeah,
I totally forgot like what was
Legend
like
like you said something about
like
it's
like
late.
like comics have like stronger stories.
Yeah,
No.
and then I mentioned Legend Galactic Heroes, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
mention Vinland Saga, and then I'm gonna mention where's my list? I'm gonna mention To Your Eternity. Now I'm gonna mention Beastars. Now I'm gonna mention Jigong.
Like I said, B stars. I'll say a Watchmen. I'll say
I hate Watchmen.
um, um I'll say well I'll say what is it Dark Prince Charming, and I'll also probably say what else want to say I'll say Crisis on Infinite Earth. Then I'll say I'm looking right at it. Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. Swamp Thing is probably To Your Eternity. Is the equivalency To Your Eternity for you? It's actually the same story.
No, it's
Like
not.
no, it's serious. His entire run is To Your Eternity, but with a superhero.
You're lying.
I'm serious.
You're lying. I
Okay,
know
what is
you.
To Your Eternity? Like To Your Eternity is basically a god. Is about a god, like the birth of a god, right?
No, it's about a
Yeah,
boy.
it's a god. He becomes a god, like that journey from from nothing to godhood. From he becomes a pebble until a wolf dies, and then he becomes a god at that point. From rock to being who creates everything. Um,
It's about humility. That's what To Your Eternity is about.
he never becomes, he never humiliated.
Humility.
Yeah, but he's never like egotistical where he falls.
He become very egotistical
How so?
when he got all the power. When he was defending the city,
Yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, this is pretty good," and he was like, when he controlled the universe for a minute, and then it was like,
no. The thing was like, what was that like? Was because the prince didn't tell him
I'm padding out for
that.
time. What?
Oh no, like the prince didn't tell him that. Like, was it that if you cut the cords like of the bodies you leave behind, right? If you cut them and separate yourself from them, then they'll resurrect each other. They'll become resurrected, and like that was like the downfall of everything. Because like retrospect, if like March, right, didn't get separated from like a Fushi, then he would have like then he would have never like he was that wall would have never because he was like, oh, I don't feel her anymore. What's going on here? And like if the prince like, oh yeah, like if you lose them, they'll resurrect bodies. It was like
It's a mat. It's a bit of
I will say Alan Moore is like a bit more concise with it. Swamp Thing is a bit more concise. Is how it's like, okay, it takes the idea like Swamp Thing, which I know you probably don't know Swamp Thing is. He's living tree. He's like living shrubbery, like living plants, right? With the embodiment of consciousness. And beforehand, it was like, hey, this guy's science experiment went bad. Boom, became a living like plant monster, right? But Alan Moore said that's stupid, right? What if the plants just took the man's consciousness, or thought it was that same guy's consciousness, and just was alive? It's a walking god, right? That thinks itself was once a man, but it was never a man, but always a plant. And it's like it's eternally connected to like the earth, so it can never die, right? And so he hears and feels everything that the earth feels, and he just walks. And he's like, I remember there's like this one issue where Alan Moore says, well, the Swamp Thing says he could, feed the hungry in Africa and refill the rainforest in South America, and fill the like trees of New York with fill like the streets of New York with trees and beautiful roses, but man would just destroy it just as quickly. And so, is this what God is? To know, but never act upon it, because he knows the answer. Like he can fix but then like lack of faith in humanity, that they'll just destroy it even worse because of it. It's like that. Like I think you should read Alan Moore's book. You'll like it.
sounds convoluted, but okay.
But a little pebble becoming a pebble to a wolf, to a boy, to a bear, to a girl, to a
That's beauty and awe-inspiring.
I want you to read Swamp Thing. You want me to let you borrow my copies?
I'll pirate it.
Right. I honestly think Alan Moore was like, yeah, fucking pirate it. Because what was it? The thing was, he had. Oh, snap! Log Horizon is getting a new season.
When?
It was just announced. Third season of Log Horizon.
Okay, it's announced, but when?
October 2020.
What?
Yeah.
So you telling me Attack on Titan, Log Horizon, something else? Okay.
Is this 2010s all over again?
It's happening. The ball has been set in place, and it's all in motion, and we're just here for the ride.
Just watching us nerds just randomly explode about Log Horizon.
If y'all don't know y'all had no idea what Log Horizon is. Log Horizon is like, this is true isekai. Log Horizon is what isekai should be from now on, but
what the pinnacle was until Konosuba makes jokes about it, and then ReZero's like, hey, what if it's like just make it a little bit more morbid and then just like everything else is just copy and paste.
What if they put Log Horizon in Isekai Quartet? Quartet.
Is there really an L in there?
I think so.
Okay.
I thought it was Quartet.
I thought it was Quartet.
Quartet.
Oh well. Yeah, that'd be fucking wild.
Yeah, Quartet. It's R.
All right. Watch us come back as we review.
Quartet.
Watch us. Every ENF rAge hour is just gonna be us reviewing every episode of Log Horizon season 3.
That should be it. You want to do that?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Let's do that. Let's just talk about every unit. Okay, that's gonna be okay. Everybody, new plans. I know we made some plans in the decade review. New plan. Every time an episode of Log Horizon comes out, we're reviewing it. Actually, we're starting episode 1 right now.
we're actually time traveling. We're gonna edit this in later. Just like, oh, we're back.
No, we're starting with season 1 right now.
Oh, we're gonna start with season 1.
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
we got to start with season 1. We're gonna talk about the first episode intensely, the next episode intensely. We just gotta. That's what we're doing for an hour. From
What's
now
like
on.
24 episodes a season?
Yeah,
Are we binging? Or are we just gonna like we'll spend 48 weeks watching like Log Horizon?
that's
stuff?
right.
That's
48
we'll-
weeks.
We'll catch. That's 52 weeks of the year.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's
We're gonna
perfect timing
Okay.
for October.
We might want to watch 2 episodes, like 2 episodes a week.
Nah, dude.
Oh, all right.
Nah, dude.
Okay, okay.
That's unreasonable.
2 episodes a week.
Yeah, that's unreasonable. We hate Lock Horizon.
We love Log Horizon.
We love it.
Here's Final Fiction.
I love my ninja girl. I love my cat man. And I love what's his name? What's our main guy's name?
Shiroe.
Shiro-san. Shiro-san is my favorite. He has bangs, but they're not in front of his face like an emo edgy kid. He doesn't have 2 swords. He has a staff. And when's another Overlord season coming out? That's also an isekai that's actually pretty solid.
That's actually be kind of wild if like Log Horizon and Overlord come out the exact same time.
That would be like that would be the end times. Okay, that's
the former king returns for his place, but the reigning king is like, "Oh, you're not gonna have it."
He's like, oh yeah, and they're gonna be an isekai correlate. It's gonna be amazing. I can already see it.
what if? Okay, we're almost up. We're almost up. Like our rage hour, right?
Okay.
But we didn't really. We never rage on these.
Well, I'm raging.
we're raging with the machines, like for Log Horizon season 3. This hype ass moment.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah, gonna be screaming with it. Haikyuu.
Do 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 do. I was just singing the opening.
Season 4.
Yeah, season 4 is out right now. I need to get around to it. I have not touched it yet.
I don't think it's manga material.
What are you talking about?
From what I don't think it's manga material from what I've seen of the first 2 episodes.
What? What do you mean?
There's only 12 episodes for one thing, and I think most of the 12 episodes are going to take place at a training camp the entire time.
Huh?
Yeah,
I don't want to watch that.
I know, right? I think production at AG has become the guys who are known for sports anime, but the problem is that since they're the sports anime guys and that they don't have a sports anime for this year, they're like, hey, let's make a Log Horizon. No, let's make Haikyuu season 4
Without the content.
without. Yeah,
So filler.
yeah.
I'm not watching it.
Like I'll probably watch it.
You want to waste your time doing that? Fine.
Well, there's nothing else this season besides keep
Pet.
your hands up if you can.
Pet.
Pet has
Pet.
look at Mount. It's
Pet.
a 6.2 average.
Pet.
6.2 rating.
That's what. Okay, and so did the Joker, but you didn't. But that movie is incredible.
What the Joker movie?
Yeah.
Like,
Joaquin Phoenix. No. King
I'm
Phoenix.
gonna be like contrarian. It's like it's not the Joker. It's not the Joker. Like the Joker needs Batman.
We
He's
talking
not
about?
a hero. It's just saying,
Joker does not need Batman.
Joker needs Batman.
No, it does not.
Yes, he is. That he is the chaos to Batman's control.
Here's what it was. Okay, let me tell you about that movie. Okay, I'm glad I didn't see Batman because it changed my view of what type of character Joker is, and it's like that was it's like it didn't have to be even named the Joker. It could just been named Crazy Man, because it wasn't necessarily, I guess, Joker that we've been accustomed to. But it's such an incredible take on the mental faculties of that character.
Of a mental ill person.
It's amazing. It's beauty.
Well, actually, I'm curious if you would read like The Killing Joke.
Is it Joaquin Phoenix act?
It's 60 pages. It's 60 pages.
It's a lot.
Oh my goodness.
That takes like a year to get through.
You read one 49-page Attack on Titan chapter the moment it comes up.
It's a 50 page, and it's a lot more interesting.
Actually, Killing Joke is fantastic. Like,
The Joker movie is fantastic. Did you not like the Joker?
I haven't seen it because I don't want to see any more comic book related things ever.
You should watch it because it doesn't feel like a comic book movie. It feels more like a movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, Logan?
No, not like Logan. It was more like I could not associate it with Batman because it was just not like or the
Well,
Joker.
see, here's the thing. I can only associate the Joker with
I bet you won't. I bet you. Okay, I bet you
okay,
you won't.
okay. On episode 30 of Fighting Fiction, we're gonna review. We're gonna round up. Right? I'm gonna talk about the Joker. He's gonna talk about the Killing Joke, and we're gonna, yeah. You gonna make that deal with me?
No.
'Cause you know, okay.
Yeah.
Because you know, I'll watch it. I'll watch the Joker, but you won't do it. You won't.
I won't. I
Yeah.
will not.
He won't read the Killing Joke. He won't read like 60 pages of a comic book.
That's a lot of pages.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of pages. All right. So, you got anything else to say tonight? As we've had now hit the 1 hour mark of this beautiful 5-minute episode of the 1 hour length ENF 5-minute rage hour.
Oh, I got nothing else to say.
Okay. Well, that's the case, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little late in the night, so we're gonna start heading off to the lands, the sleeps. But before then, we would like to know, Mr. Mr. Eric, where can we find you on the internet to harass you?
Find me only. You can find me only at Twitter at Eric Miguel.
Okay, OJ. Only at Eric Mogel on Twitter. All right, thank you, OJ.
The real OJ.
At the real OJ 32. Thank you, OJ Simpson. We know you didn't do it. You know, happy that you're here to clear yourself.
It was my evil twin.
It was your evil twin brother. Yeah, I'm glad that you were here to clear that up. You know, we love you. We love you, OJ. Okay. And you can find me, your host, Figure, on Twitter at figure_010. Thank you all for joining us on this pretty unorganized episode of ENF 5-minute Rage Hour. But we're going to start reviewing Log Horizon now. So look forward to that, as we will be segmenting, I guess, a portion of the episode dedicated to Log Horizons. I guess we'll do 2 episodes at a time.
I will do my first video on like the Joker.
and then the Joker. I guess the Joker. Okay. So that's gonna be his first YouTube video. So look forward to that.
Figure's gonna do the Killing Joke.
Beastars.
You gonna do Killing Joke?
I'm already writing the script for Beastars. Thank you all for listening. No, done. You can't say nothing else. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening. We're done. It's over. Goodbye.